The Torah, the Sabbath service is divided into three different portions. You have the prayer portion, and then you have the Torah portion, and then you have the worship portion. And this is a transitional from the prayer to the Torah, because our prayers are to become the Torah. Does that make sense? When we enter into God's presence, we're going into His house. And the designers of the liturgy understood where we're coming from and the world that we're coming from. But they also understood where it was they wanted us to go. The liturgy was designed, and Earl talked about this, about how at the end of the first century, Judaism was in a lot of trouble. Emperor Hadrian, around the 135 AD, made it illegal to be Jewish in Rome and in Jerusalem. If the Roman troops would come marching through the cities, and if there were 2 or 3 people gathered together on Saturday, they would all be executed immediately, quick trial, just by being together talking. That's how serious Hadrian was about wanting to eradicate Israel. In the earliest teachings, we were told that the reason why the emperor, the Pharaoh of Egypt, was allowed to put Israel into bondage was because the children of Abraham became complacent in their understanding of Torah, and lost. They stopped teaching their children the Torah. That's why that had to be written down, which we're glad that it did. But that's the reason why they were allowed to be led into bondage, because they forsook the God of Israel. The Hanukkah story. The reason why Antiochus was allowed to conquer Israel and create the problems for the Jewish religion in that day was because the Jewish people had allowed the Greeks to come in and assimilate within them and become water down their sense of faith. So here at the end of the first century, the rabbis were saying, we've seen this happen before. What can we do? What can we give the people that can retain the elements of worship? The liturgical system that we have wasn't something that was thought up by a bunch of guys in 265 or 365 AD or ACE. It was actually it's development of a number of songs and traditions and rituals that had been collected for centuries. The Michamocha, which we sang, is actually the oldest song that is known in human existence. It was written, was initially sang by Miriam and by Moses and by the children of Israel after crossing through the Red Sea when they saw the destruction of Egypt. That's how old that song is. By the way, I didn't change the tune at all. We don't change things that are 3,500 years old. So